Welcome, everyone, to the father and son Caps Precap of the Washington Capitals Anaheim Ducks game, March 7th. So this is the start of a California road trip for the Caps. We're taking on the Ducks tonight, then the Kings and the Sharks. I don't know if it's in that order or not, but so we're gonna be playing against a red hot team right now, arguably the hottest team in the NHL. Definitely the hottest team in the NHL since New Year's, I believe. We have the second best record, and they have the best record since New Year's. Their power play is astonishing. You know, they dug themselves out of the bottom five in the league in the beginning of the season, and now they are probably going to be going very deep in the playoffs this year.
It's amazing because it wasn't that long ago. Everyone was on the Bruce Boudreau watch list. You know, everyone was wondering, speculating when he might be fired and let go, and it never happened. And this team's really come together, and their rise has been meteoric. I mean, from where they started the season to where they are now, and they are the hottest team in the league. I think they've won 11 in a row. This team just looks at times like they just can't be beaten. They're incredible. Their power play and penalty kill, both in the top three. This team that couldn't do anything right early in the year just seems now they can't do anything wrong.
Exactly. And they started the season, I want to say in an 8-game stretch, they were shut out 5 times. And only one of those 8 games they scored more than 1 goal. Their goaltending stepped up, I think, but the biggest story is that Ryan Getzlaf has stepped up. You know, he was held to very minimal, if no point production at all early on in the season, and now he's the lead point producer on the team with, I think, 51 points.
Yeah, I still think he has yet to hit 10 goals, but Corey Perry is knocking on the door to get 30.
Exactly. So, the Ducks, what they're bringing in strongest tonight is going to be their power play. In their last 11 wins and this win streak, they've gotten at least 1 power play goal per game. Their power play percentage in this last 11 games is 44%. This is going to be very, very tough to face. You know, the Caps, they kind of collapse into their own zone. We make it a little bit easy to set up for other teams to set up the half ice against us. That's something that they can't do tonight. I don't say this often, but I'm going to say it now. We need to be a little bit more aggressive on our PK, and we have the guys to do that. We've got guys like Richards. We've got guys like Beagle. We can take away time and space on the PK because what they like to do is they like to work the perimeter, and we need to prevent them from doing that tonight.
Yeah, I think first and foremost we have to stay out of the box, and we keep talking about having to get a fast start. We keep talking about staying out of the box, playing disciplined hockey. Really need to do that tonight. Cannot afford to give this team power plays. Just can't do it. Another thing that maybe we should also talk about is their penalty kill, top 3 in the league. So when we get on the power play, it's not going to be a walk in the park, certainly, and it's going to be a tough. We're going to have to play very well against them 5-on-5. We just don't want to get into a game of penalties with them.
Absolutely, and a game of penalties like the game against the Bruins, where we ended up with six separate penalties that night. One of them was a fighting major, but you can't do that. You can't get 5 penalties against a team like the Ducks and expect to come out unscathed. They're going to capitalize on at least 2 of those opportunities. So that's one thing they definitely need to do is keep their heads. They need to stop with the silly slashing because it seems like we're doing that a lot. Taking care of your stick when you're turning around. Guys, even guys like Kuznetsov, they'll just let the stick flail up and it'll hit a guy in the face, and all of a sudden it's 2 or 4 minutes in the box for us. Something we cannot do tonight. It would be great if we could hold ourselves to 0 penalties, but obviously that's an ideal scenario in any game, but especially tonight.
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm seeing with this team now, though, is this fourth line is emerging. They've been playing very well. They're getting additional minutes, and some of those minutes are taken away from some of the other lines. Not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe have some of our top lines fresh even later into the games. I really like the way this fourth line's playing. I think Daniel Winnick's been a great addition.
Absolutely, and you'll notice our third and fourth line, they're getting about the same numbers of ice time, at least in recent games. Bruce Boudreau even commented on this, saying that we have probably the deepest team in the league, and he said that their key to the game tonight is to play a full 60 minutes because we're not going to get tired. That's something that doesn't happen to us, is not get tired. Other teams will tire out their top 2 lines in the first 40 minutes of the game, but because we have that deep third and fourth line, because they grind, because they attack, because they're very good at back-checking as well, we tire them out. And so that's probably one of the reasons we're one of the best teams in third-period hockey in the league right now.
Yeah, I agree. You saw in the Penguins game when we brought that heavy brand of hockey, the physical brand of hockey, some teams really can't compete with that. The Ducks are one of those teams. They can play that kind of game. They can play the speed game. Very difficult team to play against. And as far as depth goes, they're not too far behind the Capitals. They're a pretty deep team themselves.
They are. And speaking of the Penguins, the Ducks' last loss came 4 weeks ago to the day against the Penguins, 6-2.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
Maybe they're due for a loss.
They are. I mean, this is their this I think is their franchise record for game winning streak. So hopefully the Caps can put an end to that tonight, because this is getting kind of worrisome. This is what a lot of hockey analysts predicted to be the Stanley Cup final this year, is the Caps and the Ducks.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Caps and they were talking about earlier when they played the Caps and the Kings, the Caps and the Blackhawks being a preview, the Caps and the Ducks. This will be seen as a preview. But, you know, this Ducks team playing very well right now. The question I have for you, are they peaking too early?
See, then this is something that you worry about, especially with the Caps team, is peaking too early. It's really hard to, from the outside looking in, to say, are they peaking too early, or are they just kind of, you know, finally picking up their game? You know, they were kind of due for, you know, a little something like this, because they had a lot of talent and there was just nothing coming of it. It just, some things just seem to start clicking. So are they peaking right now? Yes, but I don't think they're going to really ebb and flow too much after this. I think they're going to finish the season with probably getting points in 70% of the remaining games. But, you know, they could be. They might have just a bumpy start in the playoffs, and all of a sudden they have an issue like the Caps did in 2010 where they were out in the first round. So who knows?
It should be a really good game. Unfortunately, this week we've got the late ones. It's going to be a grind of a week for all of us Cap fans who stay up for these games. Take a nap. Get back, set your alarm, get up, watch the game, and go back to bed, get your hours of sleep, and enjoy it. Because these West Coast trips, they're a little tough when the alarm clock goes off and you have to get up for work.
Yep, at the beginning of the season we had Western Canada, and now we have Western California.
Absolutely.
So, tonight's game is 10 o'clock. The game on Wednesday is at 10:30, so I hope you guys have your coffee brewing on Thursday morning.
Absolutely. So, predictions.
All right, my prediction for the game tonight is that it's going to go into overtime, and the Caps are going to win in a high-scoring game, 5-4. And I think Niskanen is going to get the game-winning goal again, because he is on fire lately.
All right, I don't predict losses. I like to stay optimistic. I predict wins. So I'm going to say that I think the Caps will pull it out. I think it will be a 3-2 game, not overtime. And I'm going to predict that Kuznetsov nets one tonight.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks for tuning in with us. And until next time,
let's go Caps!